You always gotta have the pinky up when you drink. Welcome to chess, ladies and gentlemen. Put my water away here. Yes, Magandang Umaga. Maraming Salamat, Kaibagan, for coming out and watching my video. I know that a lot of my people are coming from the Philippines, so I've been working on a lot of different Tagalog for you guys. So I very much appreciate the subscriptions. I got about 50 yesterday, so I'm on track. I have 222. Let me put that up while we got a second. Subscriptions. Hit that subscribe button. Por favor. Very much please. Because, you know, I have 222 left until I become a YouTube partner. And that is something I've been working on since the very beginning of me doing YouTube. So if you ever watch my videos, if you appreciate my content, if you just want to support, it doesn't really take any commitment to actually hit the subscribe button. Just please do so. You know, Salamat Kaibagan to all my people. Aking Maga Kaibagan. You know, we are actually, they just got finished with the third day of the Meltwater Opera Champions Chess Tour. You know, Wesley is in the top, he's in the top 3 right now, but, you know, you just need to be in the top 8. So the knockout round or the final round, whatever they call it, he's already advanced to that. So I have a little bit more that I'll be able to do as far as making videos and things like that. But this video is actually a re-record because I posted 3 videos yesterday, but the audio was messed up on every single one of them. So I had to redo them. So hopefully I'm going to try to get them done good you know, like the original ones were without the audio mishap. So all I'm doing now is just checking my audio multiple times before I go on just to make sure we're 100%. So I'm going to try to do this video justice. So if you guys are ready, also, my eye is still swollen. It's going to probably be swollen for the next 3 or 4 days. It does look like somebody punched me in the eye. I had a reaction to some contacts that I just got, but I have to wait until everything is everything. So that's why you see the glasses on. But I'm trying to press through anyway. So I very much appreciate the support from everybody. You know, everything, all the well wishes and everything like that, because I am not at 100% and I'm not feeling the greatest, but I'm still trying to cover this this chess content for you. So if you guys are ready, let's go ahead and take a look and see what we got for this game. All right, so we have C4, we have C6, we got knight to F3, we have D5. So we're starting off with an English with C4, and then it's kind of like a Ka1, English Ka1 situation. And then we ultimately get into a Slav. So we have D4, knight to F6. And so this is the Slav defense. It is the most heavily played defense in response to D4 as black. Usually you'll see D4, D5, C4, and then you'll see C6. That's the most relevant move order into it. And then in this situation, we do see Wesley go G3, and so you know, he's started to kind of go off on some sidelines. Most often you'll see a knight to C3 come, and then you'll see an E6 and an E3, and it just pretty much closes the position up. So this is going to be the number one top moves. So we do see G3, like I said, and we see bishop come to F5. We see knight to C3. We got E6, and we have knight to H4. And I will say, as far as what Wesley is choosing to play, he is giving Sam Shankland quite a bit because you know, Sam, you know, this is not like the super main lines for white. You know, so they are starting to go off kind of on the side a little bit. So, you know, black has a pretty good position as of now, even though their bishop is being attacked. So we have pawn takes C4. We got knight takes F5. We have pawn takes F5. We have E3. And then so we have knight B to D7. Now, what I did want to point out is instead of knight B to D7, some of you guys might be looking at the situation right here and are thinking, you know, why am I not trying to hold on to this C4 pawn, right? Because you kind of feel like maybe B5 could come. And it could, you know, like, you know, do something here. You know, it looks like you have the ability to hold on to it. Well, unfortunately, you really don't, because if we just follow like a line of play, let's say you do try to hold on to that pawn with B5, you would see bishop to G2, and then after B4, you see knight to E2, and after something like queen C8, or even queen to C7, queen to c7, you would see the move queen to c2. And as you can see, you have both pawns attacked. So you weren't really fully able to hold on to that pawn, unless white just got super careless. But, these players are too, they're too highly rated to be playing that carelessly. But so you don't want to get so tied up with, trying to protect your pawns. Sometimes you just have to let the pawn go. And that's what Shankland actually does. Like I said, he plays knight b to d7. So he just gives away the pawn immediately. And so we see knight to b6. We see bishop back to b3. Queen to d7. We have queen to f3. And then we have bishop to d6. And this is actually where we come to the novelty of the game. This is the first time this has ever been played. And so we are in brand new territory. One of the main reasons why we got into brand new territory at move 11 is because of these knight moves. A lot of times when you see the knight come to c6 and you see the knight come to f6, those are the most general knight moves that you have. So a knight coming to d7 to come down to b6, or a knight to e7 to come down to g6. Those are a little bit more, sidelines. Plus you're moving one piece multiple times. So you're going to get into novelty land a lot quicker. And so we do see bishop to d2 come as a result. And so we see castles by black. We see h3, bishop to b4. We see bishop back to c2. We see g6. Just trying to make sure we covered this this pawn because it was double attacked here. So we see castles by black or white, and we see knight f to d5 as black. Now, like I said, you have to make sure, because both of these knights do have the ability to come to the square, that you're noting exactly which one moved. So this would be knight b, this would be knight f. So knight f did come to d5. Now, something I wanted you guys to take a look at, if we did just kind of look at a side variation real quick, there was nothing really wrong with knight f to d5. It keeps the game fairly equal, but a try that Sam Shankland actually had, which was very strong. If we just look at the situation right here, you're not looking bad. I mean, the position looks good. You have some nice knights here on the queen side. You're going to be swinging the rooks over and stuff like that. You're going to be starting to attack here and stuff like that. So black is definitely in a good position. But, if we back up just a touch and insert the move bishop takes c3, what you're really hoping for in this position is that you can make your knights stronger than the bishops for white. So we would have something like bishop takes c3, knight b to d5. We'd have a3 and then a5. As you can see, this is just a little bit more of an aggressive position for black, because you're going to be swinging this rook over most likely to the b file, and you're going to be pushing this pawn immediately to b5. And so once you get b5 in, b4 is going to be coming, and you're going to be able to start ripping open this position for black. And it's just going to be a very, very nice attack that black has. So that was kind of something that Sam Shankland really kind of missed, I think. Or maybe he just didn't really feel like there was a lot of value in it. So we did see knight f to d5. So we see knight takes d5. Bishop takes d2, rook takes d2. We have pawn takes c5, d5. So we do have an opening of the c file for black. We see bishop to d3, rook a to c8 with check, and then we have king to b1. And so we see knight to c4, just trying to ensconce that knight there in white's position. So we see rook to c2, and then we see rook to c6. And as you can see, black is trying to prepare to double rooks. Get this queen involved, and it's going to look pretty dangerous for white. And so, we're at the point in the video. If you want to go ahead and stop the video real quick and see what white has at their disposal to try to. So something I want you guys to focus on in this situation is the minor piece imbalance. So we have a knight for black and we have a bishop for white. And so this move should come like kind of obvious for some people if they're familiar with how you attack when you're castled on opposite sides. It should kind of just be a given. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to basically make your bishop be better than this knight here. So what is a move, you can stop it and kind of try to figure it out, that white should play here to try to take advantage of a nice little attack here. All right, cool. So the move that you're looking for, that I think a lot of players who have experience playing castling on opposite sides of the board, they should see the move G4. Now, G4 is multi-purposeful because not only are you trying to rip apart this structure here, you know, this pawn structure here for black, because of course if you can get something like this in and this, you know, you just have so many lines open to this king, and it's going to be really hard to defend. And then also too, you know, right now this bishop is kind of blunted. This bishop doesn't really have the ability to move, and it can't influence this diagonal correctly, right? So what you're trying to do is you're trying to open up lines so that you can get this bishop to be maximized, and you're trying to make this bishop better than this knight, because as of actually right now, it'd probably be best just to take this knight off the board, because you know, this knight is actually worse than this. This bishop is actually worse than this knight. So G4 does come. But you have to be very careful that you're not trying to take too many pawns, because we do see rook f to c8. And as you can see, you know, the pressure is starting to build against white down here, down this file. So we see pawn takes d5, we see queen to c7, and then we see the very acute king to a1. Now, to show you guys exactly why king to a1 was actually made, it's because you have a problem with knight to c2 with check. Because let's say, for example, you make like, you get really greedy, and like I said earlier, you know, you want to be careful taking pawns. Let's say you did take a pawn here, right? Because you're like, oh man, this is cool. Like, you know, I'm about to get a check here. Like I'm about to, you know, the queen's about to get in. I'm about to open the game up. You would actually see this move here, and this is really lights out, because now you have a fork on the king and the queen. And if you were to try to, you know, there's nothing you can really do in this position here. You're going to have to move over, and then, you know, the knight will take the queen. You can always take here, but you're going to be down just so much material. You know, especially if you do something like this, I mean, that's just going to be checkmate, you know, because then you're just going to be looking at that right there. So you want to be really careful. So Wesley, so seeing this, he did step over to a1. And then we see knight to e5, but this is actually a game-losing blunder by Shankland. This exact position right here, it's not game-losing as of yet, but it does worsen his position quite a bit. And it is because of something he miscalculated. And I'll be showing you that miscalculation here in a second. But we see rook takes c6, and then we see queen takes c6, and then we see pawn takes e5. And unfortunately, it's in this position that Sam Shankland does resign. And I'm going to show you the continuation that he was supposed to do is going to be knight to e5, rook takes c6, and then knight takes f3. And then after rook takes c7, you're going to see rook takes c7. But as you can see, you're doing a lot better. You know, you're doing a lot better positionally, because you have 7 pawns to 6 pawns. So you're not like completely losing the game. You can also take here. Or yeah, they're going to take here, you're going to take here, something like that. So you're just down a pawn, but you're not losing the game. But unfortunately, what I'm pretty sure Sam Shankland saw in this position is that he can actually back rank mate Wesley So by doing this. And then after rook takes, you'd have the rook taking here. But I think what he didn't see was bishop can cover here. And so, as you can see, this is a completely lost position. You know, this pawn is dropping. This pawn is, I mean, everything is just vulnerable and hanging. Like, there's just not a way to maintain this position ever, you know, at all. And I mean, you know, so that's the reason why he did resign the game. You know, there's just really nothing left to be done. I mean, you know, once he got to this position here, you know, when he realized that he messed up and dropped the piece, you know, he went ahead and just resigned. There's just, like I said, there's nothing else to do. So that is that game, and that is taken, I believe, from round 6 that they played yesterday. So I'm just trying to catch up with my videos here. If you have any other videos you'd like for me to do, feel free to let me know. I'm going to be uploading a world champion, world #1. I got Judith Polgar versus Garry Kasparov coming up in a minute. And so I will get back to you probably in the next 30 minutes with that. And I will see you guys next time. Mary Ming Salamat to all my people in the Philippines. And I will see you guys next time. I appreciate it.